I've been working on piecing together everything that has happened since 2020. By showing the parallels between Portland and Gaza, I think I'm making a solid argument that COVID was a pre-planned tactical maneuver, and under the guise of public health and the fog of protests, dissidents were displaced and progressive movements sabotaged for what amounts to a real estate scam. I have personal stories that also feel like hints, someone telling me in 2010 that they had looked 10 years ahead and didn't see me there. A nurse at school looking me dead in the eyes and saying something about vaccines and 2020 back in 2001 or 2002. An incident at school, also 6th grade, used as a lesson to teach us about mob mentality. When the memories are arranged together, it feels like people knew 2020 would happen a long time ago. I realize that anecdotes might not be good enough. I want to be as scientific as possible. I'm trying to stick to facts I can prove with news media coverage. It would help to have friends who knew better than I do how this would have worked. I keep saying it's as if the world was plunged into a global military after 2020, and if you didn't know or would never join, you've been involuntarily placed in the used division. I've been anti-war my whole life as well. There's been a pattern of cleaning out areas to build fancy things the local people couldn't afford to enjoy. I have no idea where the protest community has gone, but it seemed like everything stopped in September 2020. Meanwhile, local police are anticipating unrest and are asking for $2 million in overtime pay ahead of the election, but it's like everybody went somewhere else. I have wondered if they were sent to Atlanta as forest defenders. Sent somewhere else. Imprisoned. Killed. Someone rounding up and utilizing their energy. Not to forget crossover with the unhoused population. That's an entire chapter unto itself. The potential poisoning of the entire downtown core through expired tear gas and laced drugs designed to sabotage progressive movements and policies. Again, speculation, but something like that. There's so much more, but I'm feeling overwhelmed, and I know my argument hinges on credibility. I have been surviving under duress myself. I really need smart friends who genuinely care about the protest communities. I've been alone and isolated for 4 years, surrounded by strangers who I can't see. They come into my building and work with neighbors to bang on my apartment, or seem to be sitting outside or drive by the place blasting sirens, engines, weaponized sound, and banging on shit. Gassing the apartment with pollution. Setting off false fire alarms over 30 times since 2020 alone, and then terrorizing me with false alarm sounds outside. They've made me have to worry about burning to death repeatedly. There's zero reason that should happen, and I'm scared of what scams people will pull to cover up their own shit. It is just cruel. Doing whatever to cause a breakdown and make me seem dismissible. It has been torture. I have physically deteriorated. If I am ever found dead, I need people to know I didn't kill myself. I don't want to be sent to a second location, and moving me feels like just another way to silence me and pretend I didn't exist. I have nowhere else to go, and I also refuse to leave after what feels like literally fighting to keep my home. Feels like there is a theocratic discrimination aspect with whatever COVID is about as well. I'm a lifelong humanist. Also half Jewish genetically, though I was raised in a Christian context with mandatory chapel services, etc. I'm secular anyway, so I don't really know how to label myself. That's just one piece of this global puzzle. It seems many things have been happening at once. Complex doesn't mean wrong. Some kind of test. Some kind of filter. Some kind of job fair. Some kind of recruitment. Some kind of scam. Some kind of forced labor. Some kind of genocide. I've been calling it Candyland capitalism. I need to increase my production value, but I have put together some rough found footage documentaries on YouTube. https://youtube.com/Voltavers. My videos are kind of bad, but I'm just figuring out how to do everything on my phone. My computer died. Still, it feels like some hint is better than nothing. For the sake of passing buckets of water to the fire burning down the future at least. The internet has been my tool of protest, and again I need to thank you for helping me keep it. My life is a protest now. Universal human rights or everything is bullshit sparkles. Any response would be appreciated, even if it feels like too much to say over email. Your organization seems to understand everything when it comes to government corruption and the advancement of human rights over power and profit. Do you see the parallels too? Maybe we could share news clips that help explain the whole story. This can't just keep happening, and it will happen again if no one has a clue. Intersectional solidarity and real love. L.